Here's all English-speaking countries in the world, and we're gonna rank all of them from worst to best. Yes, all 58 of them. These are the metrics we will use to rank the countries, and let's go. Hopefully I don't offend anyone, by the way. 58, Burundi. I mean, what can I say about Burundi? It's literally the poorest country on earth. And to top it all off, the government banned jogging. They really think jogging is a crime or something. Yeah, it can stay in 58. 57, South Sudan. Apparently South Sudan is called the world's nearest country since they gained their independence in 2011. Bold statement for a country that is ranked the most dangerous African country in the world and the most corrupt country on earth. South Sudan is basically civil war after civil war. In fact, there's literally a civil war happening right now, and obviously I'm not trying to get involved with that, so cheers for that, mate. 56, Sierra Leone is in the top 5 poorest countries on earth. After Sierra Leone gained their independence in 1961, they didn't really recover at all because of their incompetent and corrupt governments caring about nothing to the country but their own pockets. Fun fact, it remains the third most unhappiest country in Africa. 55, Sudan is the exact same situation as South Sudan. You could search out Sudan on Google right now and nothing positive will come up. They have the second highest inflation rate in the world. Like their country is in a crisis. It's actually tapped. And besides, most of the landmass is a desert anyways, so I ain't trying to get cooked as I'm already roasted. 54, Lesotho. Bro, why isn't Lesotho part of South Africa? Me personally, I see this country as a big South African city. But to make it even worse, it has the third highest homicide rate on earth. And as Central C said, I don't know about you, but I value my life. Lesotho also has one of the highest unemployment rates, so without people working, the economy is on life support. Oh, you really think it ends there? Lesotho also has the second highest HIV rate on the planet. 53, Nauru, one of the smallest countries on earth. Apparently, this small country used to be one of the richest countries in the world because of its phosphates exports. That's cute for a small country like that. Well, their glory days are gone now. Nauru is in an economic distress. Barely anyone visits there. Highest obesity rate in the world, and it is at risk of rising sea levels due to global warming. 52, Tuvalu. I'll be real, I didn't even know that this country existed until I done my research. By the way, if you're wondering where this country is located, it's an island in the South Pacific, midway Hawaii and Australia. It's a Polynesian island. From what I'm seeing, it has no cultural influence, not that I'm interested in, lackluster history. Nothing makes them stand out from the other English-speaking countries, and the country is going to sink soon due to climate change. 51, Malawi, a landlocked country located in southeastern Africa. It's known for having the third largest freshwater lake in Africa after the Lake Tanganyika and Lake Victoria. But despite this, Malawi is very poor. Malawi suffers from environmental degradation and has a high prevalence of HIV and AIDS. 50, Eswatini. This country used to be called Swaziland. I was always confusing it for Switzerland, I'll be real. Eswatini is basically the country's king's playground. The citizens are only there just to serve the king. And I also originally thought that this was also a South African city. I mean, look at where it's located. You can't even blame me. And to back this up, they do rely on South Africa for goods a lot. And worst of all, this country has the highest HIV rate on earth. 49, Uganda. Uganda is one of the most poorest and undeveloped countries in the world. That's due to chronic political instability and erratic economic management since the implementation of self-ruling. They also suffer from overpopulation, water pollution, and diseases like HIV and malaria. But let's look at the bright side. A lot of tourists go to Uganda for the rare birds, pristine natural beauty, and very kind-hearted people. Well, they're not very kind to the homosexuals, I'll be real. 48, Zimbabwe. I mean, what can I say about Zimbabwe? Economic distress, tragic history, corrupt governments, and war amongst other things. Zimbabwe is also pretty violent, and most of the cities go through a whole lot of riots. Even the citizens has left or want to leave the country, and we all know where the Zims have immigrated to.
China.
But what I love about Zimbabwe is that they created this beautiful man right here. 47, Cameroon, also known as the hinge of Africa. Cameroon is the second most diverse nation on earth. Damn, like so much culture in just one country. However, Cameroon is going through an Anglophone crisis. A civil war with Cameroon against Ambazonia. Ambazonia are seeking independence from Cameroon. And like I said, as a tourist, I ain't trying to go no war zone. Nevertheless, Cameroon is unique for their native music and their national football team. 46, Zambia. The country borders Zimbabwe, Angola, Mozambique, Tanzania, amongst other countries. Another victim of high inflation, soaring debt, poverty and government corruption. However, what's unique about Zambia is the rivers and waterfalls, lovely woodlands, a cool walking safari, just great green and natural beauty. Like Zambia just got it in terms of just mother nature. The country is decently also safe for tourists, unlike other countries. 45. Liberia, a country in the west bordering Sierra Leone, Guinea and Cote d'Ivoire. Liberia is the only African country on this list that was not colonized by the Europeans, and is Africa's oldest republic. And they have a former football legend as their president, so that's kind of sweet. However, they do suffer from high crime rates, weak governance, and environmental issues, so I wouldn't want to have a cheeky holiday there. 44. Marshall Islands, another country trying to be Indonesia or the Philippines with multiple archipelagic islands, but failed quite miserably. Nah, I'm playing. By the way, they got an island called Bikini, so it better have multiple girls with bikini. Alright, let me stop. Marshall Islands history is basically the US using it for nuclear testing. And also, sadly, this country ain't gonna last long due to climate change. 43. Papua New Guinea, located in the southwestern Pacific. A country with immense cultural and biological diversity, known for its tribal people sleeping in tree houses above 140 feet. Inland are active volcanoes, granite melt Wilhelm, dense rainforests, and hiking routes like the Crocodile Trail. The birds of paradise are also Papua New Guinea special. A bit fraudulent since this nation is far from paradise. The country has the second highest crime rate on earth. Yeah, you're done. The citizens got a cool natural blonde hair though. 42. The Gambia. Bro, when you look at Gambia, it literally looks like a river completely engulfed by Senegal. And Gambia is one of the most hot and humid places on earth. I ain't trying to burn beyond recognition. Gambia is called the smiling coast of Africa because despite it being one of the poorest countries on earth, the Gambians are always happy and welcoming, which is a breath of fresh air. And the Gambia got J Huss, so I bet they're smiling about that.
Get out me room. Get out me rascal room.
41. Vanuatu, a Melanesian island in the South Pacific. It is known for being the location where the SS President Coolidge World War II shipwrecks resides. It has cool roofs, but hey, nothing compares to Fiji. I'm actually sorry. 40. Palau, a country in the Western Pacific. People are only interested about which country owns this island, and I am no exception. Is it the Spanish? Is it the Germans? Or is it the Japanese? Or is it the United States that own this island? It's a sovereign nation with their own governments, by the way. But I can't even lie, I would actually travel there. Like, look at the beautiful scenery. Oh my goodness. I look at the jellyfishes inside the infamous jellyfish lake. I would actually dive there for the one time. Such a shame that this country is also a victim to environmental changes due to pollution and global warming. 39. Kiribati. Kiribati is equal with Palau when it comes to the scenery and aesthetic, but in terms of the culture, Kiribati is a little bit above Palau. You know, like their culture stands out more. The people that inherit Kiribati are Micronesian, and Kiribati has the largest coral atoll in the world. But then again, doesn't matter now because this country ain't gonna last long due to global warming. 38. Micronesia, located in the Western Pacific Ocean. From its name, micro. The term is correct because the islands and the atolls scattered throughout the Pacific Ocean is very small, and I was having a very hard time just looking at Micronesia as a country on a map. By the way, the country is made up of 607 islands. You for all need a microscope to see this country. Nah, but all jokes aside, for how small it is, it has decent cultural influence. Micronesia is divided into 4 island states: Pohnpei, Kosrae, Chuuk, and Yap. What I particularly like about Micronesia is the wretch-filled dive sites, the ancient ruins, the waterfalls in Pohnpei, and the green mountains. Teresa, I can say hello in all Micronesian languages. In Yapese is Mogetin. In Chuukese is Ranalim, in Pohnpeian is Kaselelia, and in Kosraean is Lenwo. See, I'm just Micronesian. Literally, I just changed my nationality in 1 second, trust. Micronesia's main struggles is rising sea levels and just global warming, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. 37. Pakistan, a country in South Asia. See, my best friend is from Pakistan, and that guy is an absolute nutter, I tell ya. He's from Karachi, the largest city in Pakistan. In the north side is actually chilly as hell. I just found out that most of the footballs are produced in Pakistan. That's actually crazy. So you're trying to tell me that the balls that these men play on are made by some random Punjabi in Pakistan? Quite interesting. Pakistanis also love to play cricket. Pakistan is also responsible for creating the sky as well. So that's lovely. Speaking of lovely, Pakistani women are beautiful and they wear nice clothes. But I am sorry, but Pakistan is in a crisis due to political instability, flooding, lack of food and energy shortages. and they go through a lot of conflict and they're struggling to pay off their debt. 36 Solomon Islands, a nation of hundreds of islands in the South Pacific. Another Melanesian island.
What I like about Solomon Islands is that each island cluster has something very unique about it. For example, the island of the Guadalcanal is very rich in historical preservation, like the wrecks, relics, monuments, and the museums. Mostly from World War II though. The islands of Malaita got islanders with dark skin and natural blonde hair. The Makira Olawa Islands, also known as the Sweet Banana Islands, is mostly known for having their wide range of bananas, hence the name. And Ranel and Bologna are known for having the largest coconuts on earth. The Solomon Islands love their sports, mostly rugby and futsal. I love their diverse culture as well. One part of the Solomon Islands got big seafarers sailing in the sea with their traditional canoes. Other groups in Malaita got people wearing tooth necklaces, or in their festivals they got people dancing with bamboos. Like, it's crazy traditions. Yet Solomon Islands faces some of the most difficult challenges in the Pacific. Ethnic violence, corruption, and increasing crime has affected the country's development though.
35 Tonga, located in the South Pacific, near Fiji. Tonga has strong Polynesian heritage, so yeah, it's in their blood. It's a nice place to not only see humpback whales, but to swim with them as well. But it has limited infrastructure and it's at most risk of natural disasters, so you wouldn't see me there anytime soon. I recognize their rugby team though.
Before the Tongan rugby players start a game, they perform a cultural dance. It's called the Sipitayo, and I like it so much.
34 Namibia,
The cheetah capital.
so many cheetahs reside here. In fact, Namibia has the largest cheetah population on earth. The sources say that it's tourist friendly, but is it really? I don't want a cheetah lurking while I am sleeping. They say that the official language is only English, but 3% of the people speak English there. Just change the official language to their native language, Oshiwambo. Namibia's food and wildlife is cool, but it ain't better than other following English speaking countries in this list.
And wherever you do, never sail in the northern part of the Namibian coastline. Pretty much most of the days in the coastline just experience so much fog.
33 Tanzania, a country known for its off-brand items. Bro, what were y'all cooking, my guy? I'm joking. And I forgot to say, Tanzania has Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest freestanding mountain in the world. And they got a lot of birds. So many birds and a whole lot of birds. Tanzania also got some of Africa's most gorgeous women on earth. Like, oh my God. But despite this, Tanzania has the highest rate of natural disaster
Risk out of any other African English speaking country.
Tanzanian women, I'ma fly you out to the
Shut the fuck up, nigga. For once.
32 Belize, a nation in the eastern coast of Central America. Belize is known for having the second largest barrier reef in the world after Australia's Great Barrier Reef, and is home to over 900 ancient Mayan sites and home to so many animal species
And unique medicinal Mayan plants. I guess the plants and animals are attracted to Belize's tropical forests, as 60% of Belize is basically tropical.
Very interesting, but that ain't going to cut it. The biggest problem with Belize is the homicide rate. Belize has the 5th highest homicide rate on earth. That would indefinitely deter me from ever going there. 31 St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a southern Caribbean nation. They are famous for having the most beautiful beaches on earth. Like, bro, look at the sand and the water. Like wow. Not even a joke. Like, I'm being serious. It's actually cool. They also have a nice flag. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines rank low to medium on infrastructure, literacy, safety, and corruption. The St. Vincent Island is very preserved in nature with the rainforest, volcanic mountains, and plants, while the Grenadine Islands are rich with nice reefs which inhabit aquatic animals like moray eels, angelfish, barracuda, and sea turtles, just to name a few. Inland, however, the wildlife is mostly focused on birds and reptiles. The national animal of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the Amazona gill dingy, aka the Vinci parrot. St. Vincent also has a vibrant music scene. They party hard, they don't party normal, that's literally what they say. They revolutionize soccer music. Soccer is the heart of their music.
Right now, the biggest problem with St. Vincent is that they are at most risk of natural disasters such as floods, hurricanes, cyclones, droughts, landslides, and even volcanic eruptions. Matter of fact, they had like a volcanic eruption that happened in the St. Vincent Island in 2021, and they're currently recovering from that.
30 St. Kitts and Nevis, a small dual island tropical nation situated between the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. Yeah, I guess you can say that they have a nice culture, nice beaches, nice food, nice festivals, aesthetically pleasing highlands,
And one of the founders founding fathers of the United States, Alexander Hamilton, was actually born in Charlestown, Nevis. But if I were to travel to the Nevis Islands and be like I landed in St. Kitts, they would hunt for my life, so I'm good. And they have weird names for their towns. They literally got towns called Hard Times, Booby Island, Monkey Hill, and Shitting Bay. But who would call their names for cities like that? Like, what's going on with you, bro? 29, Rwanda, a landlocked country in Central Africa. I can't even lie, Rwanda is only known for the genocide where 800k people got put in a pit, which made Rwanda basically hell on earth back in that day. But it doesn't really matter. They have literally turned the tables around from their hellish days. Today, Rwanda has now become Africa's most safest and prosperous economies. Business is booming, infrastructures have increased greatly, and tourism has increased. Talk about a comeback story. Rwanda is developing to becoming Africa's Singapore. Keyword, developing. 28, Antigua and Barbuda, a dual island nation in the Caribbean. First of all, it got a pretty cool flag, I must say. However, let's look at the country's geography. If you look at the specific Barbuda island, it's literally shaped like a pig. Cool coral reefs, but it's not like the reefs in the Pacific Ocean. Also, the thing that makes them stand out and make them ultimately better than the Pacific Islands are the beautiful and pristine bright sandy beaches, lagoons, caves, as well as an amazing bird sanctuary in Barbuda. 27, Guyana, a country in South America. It borders Venezuela. Guyana is in South America, but I see it as a Caribbean country with a Caribbean swag. I mean, they are, basically. Guyana also plans to be the Singapore of South America because it has the fastest growing economy on earth, you know. And I'm actually not even joking. This is a serious statement. They got the most jaguars than any other English-speaking country in this list. And they have the Kaieto Falls, the widest single drop waterfall on earth. So Guyana got stuff that's really unique to them, which is quite cool in my eyes. But unfortunately, the country has the second highest suicide rate on earth, so it doesn't really rank that high, I'll be real. 26, Dominica, an island nation located in the Lesser Antilles region between North and South America, right at the convergence of the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. It's nicknamed the Nature Island in the Caribbean. I mean, how can I disagree? Look at all them forests, green highlands, reptiles, parrots, and bats. Wait, bats? Look at all the volcanoes they have as well. Wait, hold on. Volcanoes? Yeah, nah, I'm straight still. I'm actually straight for that one. Nevertheless, I gotta give it to them. Dominica is the only country that can claim to be almost natural. Their nature has really been preserved so well. Look at that. All this green and just beautiful mother nature. Like, you just love to see it. I bet the citizens are very proud of Dominica that they run a festival for anything to do with Dominica. Now, I'm actually being serious. They literally run festivals for like one of their foods, their trees, or anything to do with Dominica, which is kind of weird, but I guess it's quite fun. 25, South Africa. Top 5 infamous countries in Africa. South Africa, the only country with 3 capital cities. You know, I gotta give it to South Africa. South Africa got great cultural influence and they're known for a lot of things. Like the 2010 FIFA World Cup was hosted in South Africa. Elon Musk, our beautiful rich person, is South African. Noah Dezo, the best fitness influencer, is South African. The Lion King opening lyrics was in Zulu, a South African original language. They have arguably the most respected president in African history, if not world history, Nelson Mandela, and the iconic landmarks and diverse wildlife make South Africa the main hotspot in Africa. But despite this, I'm sorry, but I have to say it, despite this, South Africa has the most broken economy on earth. Highest economic inequality in the world, highest unemployment, third highest crime rate, high corruption. South Africa is even struggling to put on their lights on. They always have power cuts for hours every day. So to summarize, the white version of South Africa is heaven, but black South Africa is complete hell. Plus South Africans, fix your English.
Decrease me there. What? No, leave me alone. Put me down. Yes, I stay here in the Kotane, but this is home.
24, Ghana, a country in West Africa. You know, surprise, surprise, I am Ghanaian myself. And what are my feelings about my own nation? Well, what I love about Ghana the most is the craftsmanship, the food. Can't tell me that Ghanaian jollof is better than Nigerian jollof. Don't ever say that to me again, I'll slap you right now. The music, come on, like we go crazy with the music. We got Stormzy, Sarkodie, Shatawale, amongst many others. All great musicians who make
great music, and they're all known throughout most of Africa and parts of the world.
And we got dancing. At one point, we got the whole world dancing as Zonto. Ghanaians also love football. Like, Ghana is basically the African Brazil of football. If you go to Africa, the first country you're going to is most likely Ghana. We literally offer natural beauty, infamous Asian castles, a diverse wildlife, nice food, and welcoming people. So obviously I love my Kwames and my Kujos. Obviously proud to be Ghanaian. But what I'm not proud of is the politics, man. The governments are not good. I'm not gonna go into detail about these people, but they need to fix up, man. I'll be real, they need to fix up.
And Ghana's currently facing economic challenges like high inflation, debt, poor resource management, and high unemployment rates. 23, St. Lucia,
a country part of the Lesser Antilles in the Caribbean. St. Lucia is home to the infamous volcanic spires, Gros Pitton and Petit Pitton. They look like a bunch of and St. Lucian have Pigeon Island. Definitely a hotspot for Ghanaians. Get it? Because Ghanaians are called pigeons? Let me stop. St. Lucians are also funny as hell, I can't lie. Like, St. Lucians are the most funniest Caribbean people I know. They got jokes. But unfortunately, St. Lucia has a high unemployment rate. You might need to go get a job. Like, what's going on? In fact, let me actually stop this, bro. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Still.
22,
Grenada. Grenada is an island nation in the Caribbean, nicknamed the Spice Islands because of their high reserves on nutmeg, ginger, cloves, and cinnamon. The reason why I rank it higher than the other Caribbean countries is because they're just way more stable than the rest of them. It's actually safe to travel there. It's not full of poverty. The citizens are educated and employed. Their infrastructure is decent and they have a decent corruption rate.
21,
Nigeria, the highest populated country in Africa, nicknamed the Giant of Africa, and that is a complete understatement. This is the nation in which Afrobeats was created, and they still have the best Afrobeats today. Nigeria still holds that title. Look at Wizkid, Burna Boy, and Davido, just to name a few. Pretty much everybody is blasting Afrobeats from Nigeria, and Nigerian delicious cuisine just does it for me, like egusi, powdered yam, jollof. By the way, Ghanaian jollof is still better though. Nigeria, home to infamous cultural tribes, the Yoruba tribe and the Igbo tribe, but I prefer Yoruba, I am sorry. Nigeria has Nollywood, the best African movie industry to ever be produced. Hollywood is definitely quiet and Hollywood is definitely scared. Can't forget my boys Babatunde, Oluwafemi, Chukwuemeka, and Asobi Ocho. I love Nigeria and my Nigerians. In fact, I am 40% Nigerian and I am proud to be 40% Nigerian. Nigeria ain't a utopia though. Nigeria is also another state with lots of corruption, bad infrastructure, and high in crime, so I can't really rank it that high. And I also have to mention that China is Nigeria's father as they feed everything to them. 20. Botswana in Southern Africa. Botswana is the epitome of started from the bottom, now we here, as it is one of Africa's thriving economies. Before, Botswana was the poorest state on earth, but now it is considered the best country to live in sub-Saharan Africa. Top 3 highest human development index, great infrastructure, and a low corruption rate in sub-Sahara. No civil war, low crime rate, and high in tourism. Botswana is also not a utopia though. Nepotism, unemployment, erosion of free speech, as well as a huge AIDS crisis has been plaguing in Botswana, but I'm sure through time it'll get better. I absolutely love this rags to riches story. 19. Samoa. I will consider Samoa to be the main Polynesian island. Samoa literally created men that carried the WWE, and I don't even care what you say. Look at these tribal wrestlers: Rikishi, Yokozuna, the Usos, Samoa Joe, Umaga, the tribal chief Roman Reigns, and our favorite Sausage Spectre. These men alone carried the WWE, and the Samoan tribal tattoos is probably the best tattoos I've ever seen of all time, and I'm generally not even kidding. I like Samoan culture, it's actually very underrated. However, even so, Samoa is highly exposed to natural hazards such as tropical cyclones, earthquakes, tsunamis, droughts, and floods. I love you, Samoa, but you're not ranking too high, but you're just high enough. 18. Trinidad and Tobago, rich in dancing, cultural clothing, festivity, food, and community. They created the queen of rap and the most legendary musical instrument, the steel pan. They were so fun to play and they sounded good. Let's not forget Calypso as well. That music genre also originated in Trinidad. And Trinidad, without a doubt, has the best Caribbean festival music. But damn bro, Trinidad is way too high in crime. It ranks 6th highest crime rate on earth. I know Trinidad is a beautiful country with beautiful people, but this just ain't it, bruh. 17. Barbados, an island in the Caribbean that's segregated from other Caribbean islands. Barbados created arguably the best singer in the 21st century and everyone's childhood crush, Rihanna, and the most legendary cricketer Sir Garfield Sobers. And what's interesting is that the citizens from Barbados are called Bajans. They got cool beaches, festivals, and fantastic monkeys. And flying fish only exists in Barbados. I never knew that a fish can fly. What a world we live in. In conclusion, visit Barbados.
16. Kenya.
A lot of people say that Kenya is their favorite country in Africa, and I can definitely see why. Full of unique tribes, wildlife, and tropical beauty. And I must even say, even the term Kenya is my favorite country name out of any other African country. Like, it just sounds so just African. I just love it so much. I just don't know how to explain it, bro. Kenya is probably the only country with tribal people that hop higher than kangaroos, bro. And the funny fact is that Kenyan citizens use sticks to brush their teeth, yet their teeth is better than 99% of the UK's population. And Kenyan bracelets is the best bracelets of all time.
15. Mauritius.
A very isolated island in Africa in the Indian Ocean. One of the only African countries where rich-ass tourists like to go to. Mauritius inhabited the dodo. Yes, not an ostrich or penguins. Dodos. Well, too bad they're extinct. Compared to other African countries, their economy is thriving today. They have the second highest GDP per capita in Africa behind the ultimate Seychelles. And it was never like this back in the day. So it is safe to say that they're also another Singapore of Africa. Even Mark Twain once said, heaven was copied after Mauritius. And he wasn't even capping though. Mauritian nature is so unique, like they really got natural colored sands. That's actually so cool. The Mauritian ethnic background is of Indo-African and European descent. But regardless, Mauritius is a solid African country.
14. Seychelles.
An archipelago of 115 islands in the Indian Ocean of East Africa. Who would have thought that this small island nation will be Africa's most thriving economies, having the highest GDP per capita? If you look at it in a tourist point of view, this place looks like a utopia. Look at one of their islands. Eden Island is actually so dreamy. Their most notable site, the Aldabra Atoll, is home to loads of big-ass tortoises. Seychelles is nicknamed the land of perpetual summer, as it's known to having the best weather and climate, and is home to the most rare and largest nut, the coco de mer, which be looking like a girl's hips or bun. Seychelles are also mixed ethnically, as they are of Indo-African and European descent. But they have a weird sign tradition. It's like superstitions. They believe that if you whistle at night, you will have bad luck. If your hand is itchy, money's coming your way, and if your hand is sweaty, you're jealous. Even though it's odd, I feel like just believing in this, I just don't know why.
13. The Bahamas.
The Bahamas, the richest country in the Caribbean alone. The Bahamas is probably the only country in the Caribbean that has swimming pigs and pink sand. Any Barbie would love this. People say that the golden age of the Bahamas was in the 16 and 1700s, where the pirates of the Caribbean took over. The most famous pirate within the region at the time was Blackbeard, not the One Piece Blackbeard One Piece fans. The Bahamas also has the finest cocktail. As a tourist, this place is just close to perfection, as it has luxury shops, food, tremendous hotels, full of resorts and explorations that I would never get bored of and probably want more. 12. Malta, an archipelago in the central Mediterranean between Sicily and the North African coast. For a small country in Europe, Malta is very rich in history and the landscapes of the country really complement it. Malta is basically a museum. If you walk around the streets of Malta, they literally have megaliths older than the pyramids of Giza. Malta has many forts, castles and historical landmarks. I actually do like it. It's actually cool. Oh, and the Maltese dog was originated here. Well, obviously, look at the name Maltese dog. Apparently, this cute little dog was voted the world's best therapy dog. Not bad, but not valid because me personally, I don't really like dogs.
11. Fiji.
Probably the best Melanesian island in my opinion. Back in the day, Fiji used to be a trash country. So many coups and loads of conflicts, but now Fiji is a thriving economy with a good community, with full of wonderful tourist attractions. Fiji has one of the best coral reefs I've ever seen in a long time. And look at the bright blue water in the beaches. Look at the sand. It's actually one of the smoothest I've ever seen. It's even smoother than a smoothie. And Fiji weather is incredibly tantalizing. And the jungle looks straight out of a storybook. Like, what more can I say? Perfection. And Fiji water, oh my god, it just tastes like water. And the rugby team are some badasses, I ain't gonna lie. Fiji just got it. It's a solid country. Valid. 10. Wagwamiyu. You already know what's next. Jamaica. Even though it's a small country, Jamaica has made the biggest global impact for Caribbean culture out of any other Caribbean country. No matter where you are on earth, you can't tell me that you haven't heard about some Jamaican things. You know, they got golden music genres like reggae and dancehall. They have the best festivals. Jamaica got the best chicken on earth, jerk chicken, and what else? Patty, rice and peas, the reggae legend himself, Bob Marley. Need I say more? Jamaicans are the fastest people on on earth, like you can never catch them. By the way, with you saying, boy, you know I'm looking at you. The Rastafari style originates here. You feel me? I'm a raw Rastaman. Let me stop. Jamaicans get raw faded, or be raw. I am personally a big fan of Jamaican culture, like big ups Jamaica. I am from London and there's so much Jamaican influence here, it's actually incredible. Any person from London can vouch. The slang is completely inspired by Jamaican patois the most. Jamaican patois is so legendary, bro.
Take your time, Squidly. Me a ride bike and you ride bicycle and you lead me. Watch your roads go the corner. Squidly.
Bumbleclad.
Squidly. Fully salt, you pussy clot in a ear.
Jamaican women, beautiful. Jamaican food, finger looking good. Jamaican drinks, could get drunk off just a sip. However, I hate to ruin the vibe, but I gotta state some facts. Jamaica's main problem is the crime and corruption. You know, it has the 10th highest crime rate, the 2nd highest murder rate in the world, and corruption occurs a lot in Jamaica. It will be the top 10 countries without these problems. 9. Philippines, located in Southeast Asia. Only in Philippines where you're called boss without owning a company. The Philippines actually have the largest marine biodiversity on earth within their waters. They have the largest snake in the world, the largest fish on earth, and the largest eagle in the world. Like, this is so interesting. I love these facts. Incredible stuff. In fact, the Philippines is one of the 17 mega diverse nations on earth. It's like a mammal kingdom. The Philippines is now very industrialized from its agricultural days, and they have the fastest growing economy in Asia. And the infamous fast food restaurant Jollibee originated in the Philippines. And by the way, it tastes actually so yummy, man. And best of all, Filipinos. First off, I dare say Filipino women are the finest on earth. And this ain't an opinion, and I'm not even joking. Filipino women has 15 victories in major international beauty pageants like Miss Universe, Miss World, and Miss Earth competition. Their women are objectively beautiful. And Filipino people are very friendly, like they're always smiling. Even when the Philippines is more at risk of natural disasters than any other country, they will never fold under pressure. The flooding is literally nothing to them. And Filipinos love boxing, karaoke, and basketball. Bro, when it comes to basketball, these Filipinos are hand masters, bro. Look at this shit, dog. Moving their hands faster than the speed of light. And as a fan of music, I particularly like the style of instrumental music and their dancing as well. The Philippines is valid, solid country, man. 8. India. Everybody knows India, what they are about. Your best friend is probably Indian. Your IT teacher is probably Indian. And speaking of IT, most IT experts are Indian. Look at the CEO of Microsoft, YouTube, and Google. They literally run the tech. India is also the largest producers of spices. So the spices from the chicken that you've been eating comes from India. And if you know me, you know how much I love spice, man. Spices in food just makes it so much better. And also, how can we forget about Bollywood? The funniest pieces of film I've ever seen. And I'm just so in love with the temples, the statues and shrines, and the traditional rituals. In fact, India holds the largest statue on earth, the Statue of Unity. India is the largest democracy in the world. Yoga originated in India, chess originated in India, and chess will forever be the best strategy game of all time. The most subscribed YouTube channel is an Indian channel. Indian music is world known and legendary. And Indian food is just so nice. Like if you look at chicken tikka masala, samosas, aloo gobi, naan, butter chicken, like oh my god, it's so nice. India has the most tigers out of any other country. They have the best peacocks. The main religion in China, Buddhism, also originated in India. Hinduism is the 3rd largest religion on earth. The most inspirational politician, lawyer, and social activist, Gandhi, was from India, and his quotes to this day holds weight. This is my favorite quote from Gandhi: "Be the change that you wish to see in the world." And Indian culture is just one of the best I've ever seen. I just love it so much. It's just very unique. India is packaged with a lot to show, but it's not the perfect country. There's a high prevalence of human trafficking and child slavery amongst other things. Hopefully this can be reduced, as India is such a remarkable country with beautiful traditions. 7. Ireland. Back in the day, Ireland was not sweet, being oppressed by the British, but Ireland fought back and gained their independence. Now Ireland is the 2nd richest nation on earth by GDP per capita. Ireland has the fastest growing economy, 10th least corrupt, and top 3 safest country in the world. And that's not only the good things about Ireland. It's nicknamed the Emerald Island with the amount of green in that island. If green is your favorite color, this is your country. Green is my favorite color. Ireland is also responsible for making the most infamous beer and alcoholic beverage on earth, Guinness and Irish whiskey. And believe it or not, Halloween also originated in Ireland. But me personally, I don't really like Halloween because it's actually kind of scary still. And Irish clothing is just so cold. Like I just particularly like Irish clothing.
Irish people also love their booze as well. They rank the 6th with the most alcoholic consumption in the world. I like how people try to violate the Irish being the potato heads, but in reality, potato is actually nice as hell. And Irish music is heaven in the ears. The downsides of Ireland though, why is Ireland always raining? It's too much, and even though Ireland is rich, not too many people actually live there. All good though, I will always still praise Ireland for creating these legendary Irishmen. Conor McGregor, Jack, and the most coldest man on earth, Tommy Shelby. I bet Irish people are proud of their country, like they be river dancing with the leprechauns or something. 6. New Zealand. I had to put New Zealand there. First of all, let me say this. New Zealand is a geographic anomaly because if you look at tattoos, artwork, or even educational books of the globe, New Zealand is forgotten on a map. Funny that New Zealand ain't even recognized in the map, yet it's ranked 6th in my ranking. Why though? Because of the top 10 best countries to live in, 2nd least corrupted on earth, ranked 5th in economic freedom, and top 10 countries to raise your kids in. New Zealand have insanely spectacular landscapes displayed in a number of films like Lord of the Rings. And also, one of my favorite childhood shows of all time, Power Rangers, also originated in New Zealand. And New Zealand is ranked the top most landform diverse countries on earth. They literally have everything: forests, glaciers, geothermal geysers, deserts, beaches, too many to even count. And they got a lot of flightless birds. Literally every single type of penguin are in here, including the kiwi. Not this kiwi. And speaking of kiwis, they have the unique English accent. Just listen to this.
Hiya, how was your weekend?
Yes, it was great. We spent all weekend on the deck.
On the what?
On the deck.
All weekend? Oh, that sounds... Are you okay?
What's wrong with me spending all weekend on the deck?
And the New Zealand rugby team are literally elite. I like their traditional Maori war dance. Truly incredible culture. Number 5, Australia. Australia is ranked top 5 best countries to live in. It's ranked 5 in the Human Development Index. Of course it is. They literally have everything to survive. Food, materials, energy, capital, defense. The only thing that they do not have is water. And Australia literally feeds everything to Asia as they have strong ties with the major countries in Asia. And Australia is pretty much a desert, a forest, a farm, a continent. Like Australia is literally everything at this point. I mean, it has the most diverse ecosystems on the planet. Australia literally got this pink lake called Lake Hillier where even scientists cannot explain why it's pink. Australia is also known to have the most unique and distinct animal species on earth not found anywhere else. Like they got kangaroos, dingoes, koalas, platypus, and so many others. Like there's too many to count. Remember, be careful if you visit there as there's deadly animals like the venomous snakes, the Sydney funnel web spiders, the great white sharks, the jellyfish, and the saltwater crocodiles. If you ever go close to them or mess with them, they will end your life on the spot. Australia is home to the biggest reef on earth, the Great Barrier Reef. And Sydney, oh my god, that city is absolutely wonderful. And Melbourne is the most underrated city in the world. And Adelaide, such diverse beauty. Like Australia therefore deserves to be top 5, 100% valid country. Number 4, the United Kingdom, the country where I was born and bred in, made up of Wales full of sheep, Scotland full of druggies, England the country of English chaps, UK draw, the royal family, Boris Johnson, and Birmingham residents. Oh, and how can I forget Arsenal fans? Oh, and Northern Ireland, how can I forget that? The UK has impacted the world in good and bad ways. I mean, at one point the British Empire literally owned 1/3 of the whole planet. That's including Ghana, where my parents are from. Like the UK was literally a global power at one point in history. It's actually so crazy. English is rich in everything: history, sports, music, literature, science, innovation, visual, entertainment, pretty much everything. Everybody on earth literally knows about the UK. Additionally, the UK got good weather, great tourist attractions, outstanding parks with natural beauty, fine cuisine, cool banks, great healthcare system, and a great education system. But what I love most about the United Kingdom is the diversity they offer. From the British Empire colonizing pretty much 1/3 of the country, now pretty much all the colonization literally lives in the UK now. Only the UK where you have a Turkish kebab restaurant and a Chinese restaurant in the same road. The UK is so loaded, I could go on for hours about this country, but I've got to move on. Number 3, Canada. Canada is the second largest country in the world, yet 80% of the population lives at the edges near the Canada and US borders, which leads me to Canada's geography. Canada definitely has a unique geography on earth, having the second largest bay in the planet, black blue lakes, numerous rivers, majestic western mountains, rolling central plains, and forested eastern valleys. Around 60% of the world's lakes and 30% of all the world's fresh water comes from Canada alone. Canada's tap water alone has better quality than bottled water. That's actually kind of good. Their landscapes is also intriguing with the glaciers, highlands, and waterfalls. Niagara Falls is the most notable fall. Around 80% of the world's marble syrup is produced in Canada. Ice hockey was originated in Canada. Most of the polar bears in the world are in the coldest parts of Canada. And Canadians are literally known in the world to be the world's most polite people, that they even memes about their politeness. And the Canada Goose, the coldest jacket ever made, was founded in Canada. And I don't even care what you say, the Canada Goose is literally the best jacket of all time. And Canada birthed some of the most popular musicians on earth. Musicians like Justin Bieber, Shawn Mendes, Celine Dion, Drake, and The Weeknd. I would like to personally thank Canada for creating our favorite light skin of all time though. Canada remains a hotspot to live and is very stable. Definitely deserve to be the third. Valid.
Number 2, Singapore. Singapore is such a small country, but it's like the global financial hub of the world. It's one of the richest, cleanest, and best countries on earth, and the citizens are amongst the most educated, hardworking, and productive out of any other country.
But back before independence,
Pre-British colonial era, Singapore was basically the slums.
almost all the citizens back then were poor, all addicted to opium. Like it was just a place filled with utter filth, destruction, and poverty. But when this guy came to power, he managed to turn Singapore from a garbage state with no resources to a global financial center of the world. Singapore's Human Development Index is very high, top 5 competitive economies, top 5 least corrupted country, top 10 safest country on earth. And Singapore has so much ties to the world that the Singaporean passport alone is the most powerful on the planet. Singapore has without a doubt the greatest airport of all time. Like, just look at the airport. Like, bro, I would literally travel all the way to Singapore just to hang out at the airport. It's that good. Phenomenal. The airport itself is literally a tourist attraction. And speaking of tourist attractions, Singapore has the most fantastic points of interest, like places like Gardens of the Bay, Orchard Road, Harper Villa, the Night Safari, the Henderson Waves, Marina Bay Sands, and the coldest museums known to man. And Singapore's ethnic background is of Chinese, Malay, Indian, and European descent. And all in all, Singapore is just one of the best countries on earth right now. And ranked number 1 on this list, pretty much the special, the anointed one, the special one, the king or kings of every single country, the USA. Let's be completely honest, the USA is the default country of the world. The American society is made up of every kind of people. The US literally dominates on pretty much everything. The US is literally the richest country on earth, the most inventors out of any other country. All major companies are US companies. If you think of film, you think Hollywood. US music is the most popular out of any other country. Their universities is the best on earth. All the popular games are US games. Everybody on earth recognizes at least one state in America, whether that's New York, Florida, or California. Every US state is like a country in itself. And the US have tourist attractions that's pretty much known to the world. They dominate in all sports, whether that's basketball, boxing, tennis, the Olympics, the MFO, you can name it. The USA just dominates in it. The US dollar is the Earth's default currency. The US military is the largest on Earth. America literally makes stuff that the world uses. And America creates media that the whole world literally tunes into. Like, the USA is the default country. Like, it has to be number 1, whether you like it or not. Like, generally. Hey, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel right now and join the Patreon while you're at it. Thank you.